As Jennifer was playing and I was just looking out at all of your beautiful faces, I started to think about traditions and how traditions shape, create, and sustain a community. Traditions like the new member joining ceremony that we just participated in. I'm thinking of some traditions are quite old, such as signing the membership book, and we have books that go back to the beginning of this church in 1823, a tradition. I think, too, about some of our newer traditions. We just introduced our silent candle tables 2 years ago, and I would say it's probably one of the most beloved and meaningful traditions in the entire church year and in the worship service, to be able to come and light a candle. I want to tell you about a tradition that a tribe in Africa practices to create community. There's a tribe in Africa that believes each person has their own individual song. But this tribe in Africa also believes in more than an individual. They believe in the power and in the necessity of community. Jack Kornfield, the celebrated American Buddhist teacher, writes about this African tribe, saying, "Before a child is born, before a child is even conceived, the mother leaves the village behind and goes deep into the wilderness. There she sits and waits and listens. Listens to the rhythms of nature, the rhythm of her own heartbeat, the rhythm of day and night into day and night, the rhythm of the great mystery that moves within her and around her. If she listens long enough, the universe reveals to her the song of a child whose time it is to come into the world. The woman returns to the village with that song and teaches it to her husband. That night, as they make love, they both sing the song together, singing the song to the child they are creating. All through the pregnancy, the woman and man sing the song to the child as it grows in the womb. On the day of birth, the entire village gathers around the hut, and the father teaches every person in the village how to sing that song. And so at the moment of birth, the newborn is welcomed into the world by the entire village singing the song of that child. As the child grows, their song is always sung to them. As they wake, as they move through their day, their song is sung to them. If the child falls while playing, someone will help the child up, wash away the tears, and sing that child their song, reminding them of who they are. Everyone in that village knows each other's songs. And at every key moment in life, coming of age, the first hunt, marriage, the song is sung by the entire village to mark that moment. If, as an adult, the person does wrong or goes astray, the entire village gathers around that individual. And rather than condemning or punishing them, they sing the song over and over and over, recalling that person to their true self again, their best self again, singing that person back to the wholeness of their one true nature. When at last the time comes for that person to leave this world, the entire village again gathers around the hut, and they sing for this person while they are dying. And after the person has died, the song is sung one last time over the grave. And then, as the notes fade away, the entire village releases the song and the person back to the universe from whence they came. And then that song is never sung again. To be part of community, to be held in community, is to experience, in the words of poet Enid Schomer, the heart outside our heart. Isn't that what we've been searching for, yearning for? The heart outside our heart? Isn't that what church could be for us? The heart outside our heart. Author Anne Lamott writes, I read once that a human life is like a single letter of the alphabet. It can be meaningless, or it can be a part of great meaning. She continues, our funky little church is filled with people who are inside praying and meditating and out there on the streets working for peace and freedom. They are people in community, people banding together to work on themselves and work on human rights. They follow a brighter light than the glimmer of their own candle. They are part of something beautiful. Isn't that what we try to create here? A place that invites us to become part of something beautiful. I like to think of this church as a temple of tenderness, our own sacred and open circle of compassion and care. As George Odell says, a place to come when we mourn and would be comforted, a place to come when we are in trouble or afraid, a place to come when we are in despair, in temptation, and need to be recalled to our best selves again, a place to come when we would accomplish some great purpose and cannot do it alone. A place to come in the hour of our success when we look for someone to share our triumphs, and a place to come in the hour of our defeat when, with encouragement, we might endure and stand again. A place to come when we are ready to die and would have gentle hands prepare us for the journey. This church is a place to come where our children can learn that religion is for joy, for celebration, for love. A place to come out of the noise of the world and hear softer sounds. A place where we are reminded that life matters, that each one of us is a gift to this world. But we are a Unitarian Universalist church. And that means we stand in a long tradition that believes religion must provide more than sanctuary, refuge, and comfort. Yes, this community is a circle of care for those of us who are hurting and healing and resting and reviving, those of us who are worn and weary, aging or dying. But if we are to be true to ourselves and our heritage, we must claim a prophetic voice in the world as well. Unitarian Universalism is a faith in action that stands on the side of love. We do not hide from moral responsibility because we fear disagreement or division. We believe the salvation of the world begins here, in our hands, and now, in the great issues of our times. Unitarian Universalists have been on the cutting edge of political and social change for hundreds of years. And just to remind you a little bit of what I said earlier in the service, we've been on the cutting edge, be it slavery, education reform, preschool and kindergarten, prison reform, child labor laws, safe work conditions, separation of church and state, evolution and scientific truth being taught in the schools, capital punishment, woman's right to vote, a woman's right to choose, gay, lesbian, transgender, and bisexual issues, protection of civil rights, immigration reform, living wage campaigns, environmental responsibility, ethical eating, sustainability, and the importance of one world community working together as one voice. We may not agree on all of these issues. We haven't through the centuries. But a true Unitarian Universalist church must be a place that cries loudly against the injustice and the violence in our society. This must be a place that demands transformation of a system that oppresses. It must be a place that changes lives. And I might add, this could be a place that decides it's time to revive its dormant and leaderless Social Action Committee, a committee that has been inactive here at the church for over a year so that we can start doing the important work of healing our beautiful but broken world. If you might feel called to be part of love in action, talk to me or Melissa if you feel that fire burning within. Time to do something to change the world. A church, too, is not a place for individuals alone. Yes, we proclaim the inherent worth and dignity of each individual, each one of us, and the person sitting next to you. But to be part of a church is to be part of something bigger than our own selves, part of the heart outside our heart. In walking through these doors, we become accountable to each other. In this church, not one of us acts alone. Not one of us makes decisions on our own. We are part of a group. We are accountable to each other and to the rules and policies and responsibilities that bind a community together. We are accountable to expectations of civility and respect, even amidst anger or disagreement. This is what makes us one community and not separate parties of one. This church doesn't exist to meet all of our individual needs. This church doesn't exist to make each one of us happy. This church exists for a greater good, the greater good of the congregation and for the greater good of the community that waits outside. As Nancy Schaefer writes in her prayer for this church, may each one of us have bodies that want to stand next to other bodies, so that no one stands alone and no one aches and does not say so. May our doors be so open it is drafty inside, and people sometimes shout because noises without come also within. May those sheltered here sometimes cry all at once, letting tear water clean what words by themselves cannot. In silent times, may everyone present hear everyone else breathing and know this is not separate from how the world breathes all night. May we always have room for those many who want to come in. May those who cherish this church be so glad they cannot stop speaking, stop asking, stop sharing, stop supporting. May we notice each one who is new and invite her or him to stay. And finally, may our list of names for the holy not ever be finished, and may we hear God chuckling with us as we find still more. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.